The final month of 2013.
That's right. That's right. Going into December.
I hardly recognize you. You are Andrew Work?
As a matter of fact, I am. Yes.
No, the Andrew Work I know have mustache.
Is there something different about me?
Yeah.
Something a little different.
Yeah.
What could it be?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, Vincent. It's the end of November, and this morning...
You look like someone from Star Trek now.
Star Trek?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Not like very intelligent.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, with the mustache is the other side of Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah, like Worf.
Yeah.
The big mo coming down here. So yeah, it's the end of November, but I do want to.
Yeah, my brother loves Star Trek, and he has been mumbling repeatedly.
Yeah.
About Star Trek yesterday, because he just arrived. I have to pick him up, and I have to miss the BS event.
Oh, the biggest political event.
Bonnie and Simon.
Last night. Bonnie and Clyde. No, Bonnie and Simon.
Bonnie and Simon Shen.
I mean, I was there, Vincent, down at the convention center, and I got there at about 6 o'clock, thinking I was a little late.
Oh my God!
5:30.
6 o'clock is way too early.
Well, I'm glad because I got there. I was able to do my picture with the bride and groom because after that, the lineup was a mile long, and I mean, there's no cutting this lineup.
It's either you arrive at 6 or you arrive at 9:30.
Yeah.
Then you don't have to wait.
Yeah, food hit the table at 8:30, but I mean, you should have seen who was in this lineup to get their photos taken. Guys like Anthony Wu, chairman of the Hospital Authority, Hungary General Chamber, big gun. He was like standing in the lineup like everybody else. The only person I think maybe got to cut the line was I was talking with Andrew Shun Pak-man from Lion Rock, boy, and I turned around and like, oh, there's the chief executive getting his photo taken with Simon and Bonnie up on stage, and Carrie Lam and Henry Tang. John Sung dropped by.
You know what? They should have invited Albert Ho.
Albert Ho was there?
No, but I think they should have invited Albert Ho, C.Y. Leung, and Henry Tang together with the photo.
Well, that would have been tricky business. There were
with the prize and group.
There were some unusual matchups. Who else? Like, I mean, it was just you wouldn't believe it.
And it's in convention center. It's the only place they can host 90 tables.
Yeah, I think they had about 1,000 people.
Yeah, they said 90 tables.
90 tables.
90 or 90 something. Yeah.
I mean, it was jam packed. I was sitting on my table was mostly think tank people because of my former association with Lion Rock. Sitting right next to us was it was all LegCo members. So Ronnie Tong and his wife, Ip Kin Yun, one of our regular writers, Margaret Ng, Sintong Kai, who else was at the table? James To. Claudia Mo was on fire. I mean, she was just bubbly and lively, delight.
No, but when she not in fire.
Fair enough. The woman's got some energy. I mean, fantastic. But then there were some unusual matchups. So they had this video, and it was like kind of like people saying advice for married couples and welcome wishes, right? And in that, so you would have, long hair was in. I mean, like it was just everybody from the pro-establishment, the pro-Dems.
Yep.
Everybody was in there. They had 6 MCs that were all celebrities from various media channels.
But what language did they speak yesterday?
It was almost entirely Cantonese.
Yes. How do you understand that?
I had Andrew Shun was sitting next to me, and I had Yan Yan from Civic Exchange. The head of Civic Exchange was sitting on the other side of me, and so they would kind of let me know what was going on.
You know what?
You know who brought down?
They should have simultaneous interpretation facilities.
I mean, for that almost, because there were a lot of... Simon Shen has this big international component to what he does. He's a professor of international
relations. So he should not speak in Cantonese.
Well, there were whole tables that were like renowned professors of the international business, the international political scene.
Yeah. So for him, I think he should have simultaneous interpretations in at least 8 languages. In order to reflect that he is an international relations professor.
And at least 8.
At least 8.
Jean-Pierre, he had the people who could do it. The Jean-Pierre Cabestin was there.
He should have English translation, Cantonese, Putonghua, French, German.
Yeah, absolutely could have. Well, the table...
African language. He loves Africa. So.
He did have a guy from Uganda who was a friend of Bonnie's, did this.
African language, Spanish.
Yeah.
Spanish. What else? What was the 8th one?
You got to have the United Nations.
The
United Nation languages are Russian, Arabic, Chinese,
Russian,
English, and French, right? So that would have been a good one.
Okay, so at least he should have
at least,
but he doesn't.
Nah. But it was good. There was highlights of the night. York Chow did a duet with, I guess it was a triet. So it was
Trio.
It was Dr. Chen Sr., Simon's father, did Frank Sinatra's My Way with York Chow and Ronnie Tong.
Ronnie Tong
and York Chow and Dr. Shen Sr.
So it's purely equal opportunities.
I mean, it was it was really entertaining, and I don't really know. Pamela Pack was up there with Chip Tsao, and I don't know what they were doing, like stand-up commentary or something. I didn't really get what that was all about. But they did a little bit but then the highlight of the video, surprisingly, they like had people falling out of their chairs, killing themselves, was Henry Tang and his wife. And of course, they're back on the headlines, again, for all the wrong reasons this week. The big fine was handed down. But I mean...
Last week.
Yeah. And I mean...
For a fine of $110,000.
But they as people in the stand-up comedy business say, they killed it. I mean, people were falling out of their chairs. It was hilarious. And that was in the same video with everybody. John Song, long hair, it was just all across the board. All these people sending their greetings and good wishes. And I think, some marital advice. It was pretty impressive. It was something else.
I thought he thanked Simon Shan's thanked 30 people.
At least.
That changed his life.
Yeah.
Do you know that there's a list of 30 people that changed his life?
Well, I can't believe I didn't bring the book with me. There's a book.
Yeah, I know. We have that book.
Oh, do you have the book?
We have that book.
Is the book somewhere here in the studio?
Yeah, we have that book. Yes.
In our big studio, you got a copy
yes,
of it? Oh, here we go. Yeah, here it is. So for everyone out there, this is a political event of the year, and somebody's invite in the front. Is that Alex? Maybe, and then you can see all the, et cetera, and then at the back they've got the guest list marked out by who was just at the cocktail and who was at the dinner.
Yep.
I was categorized under business and finance. I guess I'm a business and finance guy now. That's my categorization. But I sat at the think tank table, so. But it was, it was really quite interesting to see. It was just so much of different parts of the spectrum. It wasn't just all this camp or that camp. As Andrew Shun put it, he said, this is like the crowning of a new political power elite. But it kind of went to the power of the round table. And I mean, it was really impressive. Lots and lots of their people there. So
you know what? They should have done the consultation on political reform yesterday.
Yeah, just done it right there at the wedding. It's like, hey, during the cocktail, everybody just come. We'll work it out. When CY comes from his photo, we'll give it to him.
The round table can be the facilitators yesterday and do the record and all that.
But they were running that wedding. I mean, all the volunteers and everything that were doing registration, they had like iPad registration. It was all round table people.
Well, I've heard that Simon on stage had thanked 30 people.
Oh yeah,
from left to right.
Yeah.
And it includes Wong Yukman.
Yeah,
long hair.
Yeah.
And all the way to
primary
to
school teachers, university professors, of course, both here and in the UK. I mean, it was really I thought that was one of the nicest parts of the night.
And the interesting part is that not to left out anyone, he even put down absentees.
Yeah.
Just like the attendance record in the meeting of minutes.
Yeah.
So my name was still inside.
Okay, good. Oh, I'm glad you're on the list.
He's kind of like avoiding that. Oh, why don't you not inviting this or that? So he put. I did invited him, but
that's actually a good point.
But I have to apologize to Simon again. Online,
on air.
Yeah. I have to put my family first. But sorry, Simon. But congratulations. I did give him a gift. So
okay, well, I mean, it was.
I have already done it in Cantonese. Now I'm doing it in English, just to make sure the English-speaking crowd.
And another 6 languages later.
Yeah, and
you'll learn them just so you can
job.
say that.
That's your job. How to say it in French? I mean, I have already sent in my gift.
Je suis désolé, mais j'ai envoyé mon cadeau, mais c'était vraiment un grand honneur d'être invité. Félicitations, Simon et Bonnie. That'll do.
Merci beaucoup.
On behalf of Vincent.
Okay, key word for today. Spectrum. I think Spectrum.
Spectrum, the full spectrum of the political world was there last night. I think that's a great one.
All right.
Kudos to Simon for pulling it off. It could have gone horribly wrong, but it was fantastically right. He did a great job. Wonderful wedding.
And what's the French for spectrum?
Le spectrum.
Oh, it's easy.
Le spectrum. Now, and of course, that's because I'm from Quebec and French is my second language. I hope you don't get your French watchers coming up and saying, tellement idiot, c'est pas le spectrum, c'est un anglicisme. Hopefully you won't get that later, but we'll keep an eye on the site.
Keep up for today.
All
Spectrum.
right.
Thank you, Andrew.
Cheers.